So 2006, after the cats tell me that, actually so right before they tell me that they was filing chapter bankruptcy, whatever they call it, I had filed my trademark for Gangster affiliated, for affiliated. And so I filed the motion, I filed the application, and about a week later, I get notified, 2 weeks later, whenever it was, I get notified that my application was about to get denied because there's another affiliated clothing. I'm like, what the fuck? So anyway, I ended up getting in contact with a trademark attorney down in Laguna Niguel, and Darren. I give him a call, end up going to his office to see him. And so he pulled up the information, and so he said, this is a slam dunk. He said, because I had told him I had been hustling the stuff and selling the stuff already. And so he's like, yeah, this is a slam dunk. He said, because commerce trumps filing date. So these dudes, these little surfer cats out of Huntington Beach, they had filed, they beat me to the filing date by 1 week. And so go talk to the attorney. He was like, well, man, it's gonna cost $40,000 to have this done. I said, I thought you said this was a slam dunk case. He said, it is a slam dunk. He said, but this is he said, welcome to trademark litigation. He says it's a very expensive business doing trademark. And so then he asked, he said, well, can you, he said, because, this is relatively a new company. And, can you change the name? I'm like, hell no, I can't change the goddamn name. All the stuff I done bought and all of that. And I'm like, nah, I can't change the name. So I'm hot as a pistol. And so I'm excuse this damn noise. I'm right here on the ocean. As y'all know, this is my stomping grounds. I love this water, man. And so he ends up giving me this kid the address, phone number, and so I ended up going over to these cats. They lived in this trailer park in Huntington Beach. This trailer park is not the average trailer park. This is right across the street from the ocean. Anybody from HB know? From been in Orange County, they know this this trailer. So anyway, and I take one of my friends with me. And so I was telling him the whole story when we get there. And so I had let the dudes know that I was coming, right? And so little dude act like he had a little funky attitude, and he was like, well, what do you want me to do? Like, shit, you can't use the name. I've been using the name, and I could, legally, you can't use it. And so anyway, my dude pulled me aside. He said, let's just whoop these, I'm like, man, we can't do that, man. He said, man, we can just whoop them and just take the name. I'm like, dog, it don't even work like that. And so we ended up leaving. And so uh, and this is right before these cats tell me too that they were filing bankruptcy. But uh, uh, my cat tell me, he said, why don't you, because I had told him that the attorney had said, why don't I change the name, this and that. And so he said, why don't you do the Gangster affiliated? I'm like, Gangster affiliated? I'm like, that long ass name? I'm like, nah, man, I don't really like that. It's too damn long. And so he was like, yeah, do the Gangster affiliated. He said, that's you anyway. Like, man. So anyway, I bounced that around my brain. I'm like, nah, I ain't with that. I asked a few people. Everybody liked it. It was like, shit, that's bomb. That's bomb. So I ended up going with it, but I ain't never really liked it. It was just too long. And so at this point, now I'm changing the name. I'm like, this is going to change the entire dynamic of the brand itself. And so this is when I start narrowing down who Gangster affiliated is for and who it's not. And so by this point, I mean, I've grown, and I told you guys in the beginning, the hang tag that I had on the clothes was basically, it was like a little 4-inch by 3-inch cardboard. On the front of it, it's got a picture of a triple beam. It's got some money, a 9mm, and it's got what appears to be is a bag of cocaine sitting on the scale, right? And also too, that's one of our hot you guys got to excuse me because this hummingbird juice has still got me humming. That shirt, we took that image and we had it put on shirts. This is way back then. And everybody loved that shirt. But I only did like 1,000 of them. And so there was only like 1,000 out. I just stopped selling it. And everybody wanted it. And I stopped selling it because I couldn't get this one brand of t-shirt that I was using. And I didn't want to use this other brand. And so I just stopped selling it. And I wound up doing like 200 pieces, maybe a couple years later. But everybody loved that shirt. And so I'm re-releasing that too when I go live with the website soon. So, but anyway, damn, where was I at? So I had been working on the meaning of Gangster affiliated. In fact, I was even jotting things down when I was gone. And so that little hang tag, as I said, that picture was on the front, and then on the inside of it was the story. The day I got arrested and all of that. And then on the back of that had the game has changed. And so from that, I was like, okay, so now I want a different hang tag explaining what Gangster affiliated is and what it's not, who it's for and who it's not for. And so that turned into this little book called The Fundamentals of a Gangster. And the fundamentals of a gangster was basically the story, how it all come about. And then I ended up getting approached by a private equity company. They offered me $250,000 for the business, and I turned them down. I talk about all of that, and it morphed into me wanting to setting the tone, me wanting to set the tone for this whole gangster lifestyle, being that the West Coast at the time, we pretty much set the tone for that. I mean, you got gangsters and hustlers and players and ballers and dollars from go-getters all over the globe. But wasn't nobody putting it down like that. And definitely wasn't nobody saying what it was like that. And it's drizzling out here. I'm trying to get out of the rain. And so it goes into mindset, and toward the end of it, I write down like 103 of my quotes and things that I live by, things of that nature. And so when people saw it, how you doing? No worries. So when people saw it, they was like, man, you can't give this away. Because that was going to be part of the hang tag. It was like, man, nah, you can't get that away. You got to sell that. I'm like, man, I ain't selling this. So this is just, what it is. It was like, man, remember I was doing a show in Atlanta. And this little dude who was next door to me, he's like, man, he had saw the book, because when I had finished it, I had ended up getting a rough draft made. I found a company, I think they're in Kansas City somewhere, 48-hour books. And so I sent them what I had, and so they gave me a little rough draft. And so I had that with me there in Atlanta when I'm doing the show, and I had it on the table because I wanted to read it, go through it, make some notes and whatnot. So a little dude next door to me, a little country little cat, like, say, man, hey, Callie. He said, man, what's this? The Fundamentals of a Gangster. And so I explained to him, he glanced at me, he said, hey, man, this is some gangster shit right here, man. Can I read it? So I said, man, you can glance through it. I said, it's just a rough draft of it, and so on and so forth. So I get back to the house, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do just what everybody keep suggesting. And so I ended up doing a press release and submitting it, doing all that, and ended up doing another show. And man, I ended up selling, I think I sold like 20,000 copies at like $9.99. Shit, it was damn near costing me that to make them. So I didn't really make a whole bunch of money, but I was surprised that that shit had even did it. And so I was getting calls from juvenile centers and people to come talk. I'm like, man, this shit, I turned down all that shit. I just wasn't even thinking. So anyway, now that I've defined Gangster Affiliated, now I needed to put that out in the marketplace. And so I'm gonna end it right there, and I'm gonna pick up next session. Talk to you in a minute.